Hey everybody, welcome back. It's August 29th, 2024. It's my 40th day of fasting. I'm going to provide a better summary in terms of videos talking about this process. But the number one thing I wanted to provide to you is that this opportunity came to me as something that I've been practicing for anyway, and I wanted to take it on wholeheartedly. And I did so in order to accomplish a few things. One of the things on my list happened to include improving my blood pressure. I didn't do this to lose weight. I didn't do this to walk on water. I basically did this because I was in a place where I saw a lot of animals having trouble finding food, and recognizing that we all are a part of this circumstance, and that for everyone to have a place at the table, generally, we need to make room for one another. So when the buffet is full and people are just sitting there, having conversations and doing nothing, it's probably time for someone to raise awareness that, hey, it's time to get on up and let someone else have a turn. So in this world where we have a lot of suits who are trying to explain to us the best way to tend to all of the resources that we're overseeing, a lot of us don't even oversee the resources that are in our own proximity. I had several conversations with many people over the course of this extended duration of time, which went by really fast. And many of the conversations centered around addiction. Some people even told me, hey, I'm sober now. I got through this. I did that. I've done whatever. But in some of those cases, the statements weren't 100% genuine. It was akin to switching from one addiction to another and claiming sobriety. Like, I knew someone one time who used to be fully engaged in striving to consume the most alcohol they possibly could because they physically craved it. And when they left that avenue of addiction, they delved into software piracy. And that's kind of like all of us. Like, let's say, for an example, if I shifted from food addiction to wanting to see, amazing wildlife or something like that. And if I just constantly went out of my way to just do that and to put myself into jeopardy and forego everything, that could be known as an addiction. But typically, I don't do those kind of things, and I don't feel like I'm very addicted to anything specifically. However, during my departure from food, I really did have strong cravings for certain things, fast foods and meats in particular, even over sugar. In all cases, I want to tell you right now in this video, the worst part about going 40 days without food is the extreme taste that continued to present itself in my mouth, a not so good taste. The coating of my tongue was, it changed to different variations of colors, but without eating food, your tongue surface doesn't get cleansed of all the things that are on it. And so your tongue can become a really great source of accumulating whatever it is that's going on in your body and coming up onto your tongue. So the most difficult part, aside from the initial hunger that lasted for about probably between 3 and 7 days, was having a pretty gross tasting tongue and occasional bouts of nausea that were sometimes associated with that in itself. Everything else, the dips in energy and certain circumstances like that, were easy to get through. And I'd have to say that I could have accomplished this either where I was at, which I'm a little bit happy I didn't, because it's snowing and quite frigid there right now, or in a more controlled circumstance where if you're like me and you live in a society with a lot of people where a lot of people will try to offer to help you to break your fast. And if you don't remain vigilant, it's not as easy to complete a fast when there are other people around, unless they're supporting your goals. And so having a network of people around me who supported my goals was very important. Having a network of people who I could reach out to and communicate with. Like, even when I accomplished what I thought was not something I could accomplish, yesterday in itself, my blood pressure was at normal. Today, I haven't worked out yet, and I haven't been able to get a good measure on what my blood pressure will be as of day 40 just yet. But in order to consistently provide this information, what I want to do is to probably get in a short workout and then see how my blood pressure is throughout the rest of today. And even if it's in stage 1 or stage 2, it has still come down quite a bit from hypertensive crisis. But like I said, yesterday, after my workout, it was in the normal range. So it went straight from stage 1 to normal. I didn't get into the elevated category in between those two stages. I just went from one to the other. And so I believe my workouts are going to be pivotal as far as continuing in this direction. I believe eating well, of course, is going to be monumental as far as maintaining this course. And I believe having a lot less weight right now, while I resume eating, I will be able to train at higher and higher increments, which will allow me to accomplish some things that I haven't accomplished in the past. Therefore, springboarding my progress that I've made during this course. A lot of people will tell you you need to be called into a fast to achieve a fast. It needs to be inspired. Usually people will say whenever they're dedicated to one religion or the other, it needs to be inspired by the holy, insert your entity right there. And for me, I like to tell you that I believe in our Creator. I believe in the things that we're all working towards. And I also believe that we can say things without standardizing a name, since across the board, across the world, all of us have different names for the Creator. But all of us also know in our heart when we're treating one another with compassion or even without compassion. So with all of those things in mind, I basically just want to give thanks to where thanks is due, and that's definitely not to myself. Everything that's come to me as an opportunity has come from a higher power, and I recognize and am grateful for all of this. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for commenting, for sharing the journey. And as far as commenting, thanks for keeping it relevant to the topics that we're talking about. And I hope that you're having a great day. If your health is struggling, if your health is suffering, if you are struggling, and if it's hard to do anything, remember this: you don't hardly have to do anything to begin a fast. You just need to have a safe space to take the time to do these things. If that's with your employer or whatever, you can do that. Do it in quiet. It's possible, especially if you're not physically overwhelmed with physical tasks all day. So for most people, this is definitely an achievable thing. It's just a matter of focusing and dedicating your energy to where you know it should be going. So until next time, thank you so much for watching this adventure, and again, for everything else, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.